Hey everyone, I'm Tyler with Joe's GE, and today we are going to be tearing down the Ultimate Ears MegaBoom 4 to see what's inside and how this thing is built. Tools I will be using for this job will be the plastic spudger. I will be using a 3.0 Phillips head screwdriver, a 3.75 millimeter pry tool. This is just going to be for separating tight seams. And I'll also be using the 10.7 millimeter pry tool. All of these tools will be listed below and can be found on our website. To start things off, we're going to start by removing the bottom cap here. This will give us access to our battery, which is going to be one of the first things that we're going to be removing. To pull off the bottom cap, we will open up the charger port, stand it up on its side. I will be using the bigger pry tool here and just prying around the seam all the way around, just trying to pop this cap off. So I will go do that now. So once we have it loosened up like this, we can go ahead and just pop it out. And now we have access to our charger port. We can see our battery here and the motherboard. I was not able to just pull the battery out from the bottom. I can't get my fingers in there. So the next step is going to be to remove the top cap. But first I'm going to remove the fabric. And to do that, so you can just get a pry tool, stick it through the loop, pull up on it, while also pulling on the fabric. Be careful because sometimes it will just slip right out. So with that pulled off, set that aside, take my pry tool, and now we need to pry this top cap off by lifting underneath these tabs on both sides while being aware of the speakers and being careful how you hold it so you don't damage them. Okay, with that off, we now have access to the top side of the battery. It is kind of down in there. This is where I like to use my pry tool or something else that is long that I can use to stick down in there to push on the top of the battery to push it out. And that gives us our battery. It is a 3130 milliamp hour battery, and it is rated for up to 20 hours of playtime, depending on how loud you have the speaker playing. So with the battery out of the way, I'm going to set this aside, and next we will remove our charge port. Once those are loose, we can remove this bracket here, which then lets the charger port free. We do have a little gasket around the port to help with the waterproofing, so that is nice. On the top cap, we have our button board. There's just 4 screws on this guy. Very easy. So we can then remove our bracket and our button board comes off. This is the board that controls the power and pairing functions of the speaker. Now that we have our battery out, our buttons, and our charge port, we can now move on to the rest of the speaker. I will start by removing our two main speakers here. In order to do that, we need to have these pins removed, and we do that by pressing up and sliding these pins up a little bit. Alright, with those four guys removed, we can move on to removing our speakers. And in order to do this, I like to use my smaller pry tool. And once we have it about that much, you can just go ahead and press it up the rest of the way with your fingers. There went our strap, which is okay. Once you have it completely removed, it is just held in there. And that is one of our speakers free. Same thing on the other side. And there we have it. These are our two 50mm full range drivers. Next, I will move on to our passive radiators. These pretty much just help enhance the enhance the bass. To remove these, we're just going to be doing the same thing, just slipping our pry tool underneath this one edge and prying it up. There are no connections on these, so there's no cables or anything to worry about. Press it the rest of the way, and it just comes right out. Onto the other side, same exact thing. And there we have it. Our two passive radiators. Next, we are going to be removing the volume buttons. We have to do this first before we remove the motherboard because they are connected. If you just try and push the motherboard out right now, you will damage the pins on the volume board. To do this, I just grab my little pry tool. For actually removing the board, it is a good idea to use plastic. We don't want to damage anything. Once that is freed, you can just go ahead and pull it off, separate the adhesive, and we're free. Here we can see the pins that I was mentioning. These are going into the motherboard, so like I said, if you were to just yank this out, you would damage these pins right here. With that free, we can now slide out our motherboard. This is responsible for your Bluetooth connectivity, amplification, and power. This is going to be the brains behind the whole speaker. And that's it. That's the inside of the Ultimate Ears MegaBoom 4, a rugged, water-resistant Bluetooth speaker built with dual drivers, passive radiator, and a long-lasting battery. As I mentioned before, opening this up and removing these caps, you will damage the water resistance, so please keep that in mind. All the tools that we're using in the video will be linked in the description below. If this video helped you out in any way, please remember to hit the like and subscribe button and check out JGE&x for parts, tools, or to send your device in for repair. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks for watching the video, guys. If you guys
Alright,
love what we do, please support us. You guys can click on the links that we have on the end screen. You guys can buy parts, sales, or service so we can continue to make great videos for you guys for many more years. Thank you.